All right. On today's 30-minute mechanic, we've got a big old box of hose. Look how pretty blue that is. And we're going to make some fuel lines, run the fuel lines on the red 83. So buckle up, let's go. Okay, I'm going to show you a little before and after here. Here's before. This is the brand new Aeroquip -8 push lock. This is like 15 or 16-year-old Aeroquip push lock. Same stuff. It's, I don't know if I can show this or not. It's actually still kind of flexible. And I cut a piece open, cut it off and cut it open. And it really wasn't bad on the inside. The inner liner, while the hose is kind of stiff, it's kind of stiff already. The inner liner on this stuff was really in pretty good shape. It was still flexible and not breaking. You could bend it all around. It wouldn't crack and flake. Now the same could not be said for some Summit brand push lock hose that was about the same age. It was hard as a rock, and I peeled it apart and I opened it up, and the inner liner on it just came all to pieces. So 15 years is probably a little too long for that kind of stuff. This was actually not in bad shape, but I was getting worried about it because this is kind of what I was mostly worried about, was at the where the connectors were. The outer, maybe you can see this side better. The outer, I'm trying to put the light on. The outer layer was splitting, but the inner stuff seemed to be fine. But the outer layer had big cracks in it. I just can't hardly see that. They don't look big on camera, but they look big in real life. That's where I cut it. But it was just cracking and splitting. I was afraid it was going to go and pop off, and then we'd have a big fuel leak and a problem, because it'd be really hard to get this old hose back over a push lock to repair it. All right, onward and upward. Okay, what I got here is the old hose that used to go from the sump on the back of the gas tank around to the fuel pump. It's kind of crusty. This hose, you could smell vapor through it. And I don't know how old it is. I bought it on eBay because I needed a piece of hose that was about 42 inches long. And it's done the thing ever since. But I'm going to replace that with a piece of that other stuff. So here we go. Let's grab our... Actually, what are we going to do here? Need something to... I'm never prepared. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm somewhat prepared. Now I think this hose is about, let's see, kind of lay it out. I think it's about 42 inches long. It doesn't have to be exact, as long as it's bored. 36, that's 3 foot. Just hang it on the end there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's 42 inches. We can make the other one 42. That's fine. So that means with our fitting, now we'll just cut a, let me grab my new hose and mark it. Move that guy out of the way. Won't be using that any longer. There's 3 foot. Put a little mark right there. And then So, what did I say, 42? Yeah. So that's 6 more inches. So we'll just zip it off right about right there. I'm gonna jump back to the bandsaw real quick and just zip that off. Okay. I got me a piece of hose. Just throw that back on the box. Got us a piece of hose here. Looks pretty good. Made in USA. Kind of like that. Now my hose ends. I'm going to reuse the same old hose ends. Let's see why not. Cut the hose off and reuse them. They weren't giving any trouble. So I'm going to reuse those dudes. Make sure they're kind of clean. I did spray them down with brake clean. So let me give them a good looking over here with the readers on. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any problem using that again. That looks great. Of course, they've just been bolted together and sitting under there for 15 years. They haven't been taking them on, putting them on, taking them on, putting them on. Get my WD-40. Okay, now we're going to go back to the vise. And I've got a little setup back there that I used to put these together. And we use our heat gun, kind of heat the hose up because it's cold out here. And then whoosh, whoosh, just jam them on there, hopefully. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's go. Okay, welcome to the very, very messy section of the shop back here at the workbench. What we're going to do, what I usually do is I got this Y fitting that I've had forever. It's purple. It's kind of weird. But I always just stick it in the vise. Now I take the fitting that I'm going to be jamming into the hose and I screw it on there. So now I've got a solid thing to push against when I'm shoving that hose on here. Now, other thing I do is I heat up the end of the hose. I'm putting on gloves. Putting on my gloves because it gets hot. You just warm it up. You don't want to turn it to liquid, but you just warm it up and then spray a little WD-40 on there and just slide it on. And we'll hopefully it works like I'm saying it will. Here we go. Now, I probably should have my readers on so I can actually see stuff. Yep, here we go again. Oh yeah, much better. See if that'll work. A lot of times I just spit on this part, but oh my word, really? But since, look at that. Slick as butter. Now I watched a Mike Finnegan video the other day, Finnegan's Garage, and he was kind of talking smack on push lock fittings and hoses, and kind of calling them kind of cheesy stuff. But 15 years under the car. That car, y'all probably don't know, but that car has lived most of its life in my driveway. So this stuff's been out in the cold, in the hot, and of course driving underneath the car and dragging drives and all that kind of stuff. So I'd say it's probably pretty decent lifespan out of it. Now, see, that turned out pretty good. Let's do the other one. The heat gun is really the trick on this, because you just warm it up instead of trying to jam a cold hose, stretch out a cold hose over a fitting. You warm it up a little bit, and then it'll cool back down and get a nice good grip. Speaking of grip, even though those ends were split like they were hard to get off. I really had to work to get the old hose off the fitting. And I've used these with EFI pressure stuff with no problems either. There, look at that. Got us a hose, 2 ends made. Easy squeezy. Peasy. Yeah, I just forgot. I had one more I needed to do. So there's our fitting. Perfect. Once again, slick as butter. Keep a little pressure on it. They make this hose. They make it in black and blue. And why did I pick blue? Blue kind of gets dirty. But why did I pick blue? Because it was like a little bit cheaper per roll. Budget-minded hot rodding. Same stuff, different color, cheaper. Use it. All right, I'm going to change how I'm doing stuff just a little bit. I have a 890. I'm going to put my Dash 890 onto the fuel cell sump, on the fuel sump. And I want to put my filter out here where I can get to it. Because previously the filter was all the way back around the other side of the gas tank, right behind the rear end. So you had to crawl out of the car, take the lines loose, blah, 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 blah. You know, it was kind of a pain. Now, I'm just going to have the filter right here in the back, where if I need to check it or take it off, I can just do it right there without having to get underneath everything and jack the car up or anything. So let's head under and hook up this new line. I'm not going to put it on the sump today because I don't want the shop to smell like gas, because I'm going to be working out here for a while and I don't want to smell unleaded all day. So we're going to hook up at least to the pump, to the hose, back to here, and then we'll worry about hooking that up later. All right, a little better angle on it there. Then we got our new line here. Really, I can just go ahead and screw the pump and hose. I didn't have to get on the floor to put this part together. Oh, you know what? That's a 13/16. Let's grab that. Got the knock tools on my head. 13. You're just here. There you are. 13/16. And this thing only has 2 flats on. There it is. And that hose up. Here we go. Come on, get out of there. Now this dude is gonna go. It's gonna hook on right over here and just wrap around and plug in right there. Let's go ahead and get that. Get my big dumb body moved over here. That's screwed on. I got one of these little flippy deals that I've used forever. Let's see, let's go that way with it. It goes right over here. Somewhere. Somehow. What is going on? There. Just put that nut on there. There is a lot of rubber under this car. Okay, now that part, and then that dude will just swing right around here and plug in, and we'll probably do just like we did before. We had a little zip tie right up here, just zip tying that up to keep it from sagging. I could do another one of those. But that is going to be great. We'll have our filter over here and just plug that right in. I wish there was a way that would stay right there. Tighten. Oh, yeah, there we go. What size is that one? 7/8, and that one is. I preliminarily reran some of my wires here, so they're kind of in the way. They will not stay like that. Come on. Okay, all tight. All tight. Okay, that line is on there. And then that'll go there. Perfect. Okay. Just kind of leave that hanging out right there for a bit. Actually, if I had a zip tie, I could just go ahead and zip tie that. And everywhere for my cutters. And they're right there next to me. Bend that just a little bit. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That just kind of keeps that. That'll just kind of keep that supported and keep it from dangling. And that's like spot on, perfect length. Did good. I did good. 42 was the right length. But it didn't. Oh my gosh, really? Okay. Goodbye, zip tie that doesn't zip. Maybe shouldn't buy zip ties at Harbor Freight. Oh my gosh, where's the hole? What you would think. Oh, then that one doesn't sound good. No, actually, it is actually holding. Now we go that hose through there just a little bit, and then that's like just right, just right. Okay, good to go. Clip the end on that dude. Laying under here reminds me, I'd owned this car for quite a while, and I was laying under it working on Working on something back here. I can't remember what. Might have been putting the ARB in. But I looked up and there was a key. There was a spare door key with a bread tie tied off to the bottom of the car under here that some previous owner had stuck under here. It's really funny because I was like, holy cow, there's a key to my car. I never had even seen it. Okay. Looks like we got this part kind of taken care of. Now we can start checking, kind of routing our other hose up to the front, figure out the length on it, and then we can be done with fuel feed. Okay, moving on. Calling around, getting up, getting down. This is not my favorite thing, but gotta be done. Okay. It would probably help if I had the car up higher, but you know, there we are. Okay, this dude, I'm going to run it the same way it ran before, which was right up over the axle and down. I wonder if I should go. I feel like I should go on the other side of this brake line. Like a better plan. One on top and one on bottom. Here, hose. I need you to lay under the car with me. This thing is like winding up around me like a boa constrictor. Stop it! Get off! There we go. Okay. Now, that dude, this guy, gonna plug in right there. And then it's going to loop up, stay on that side, just perfectly okay. That around here. And then we'll probably go gotta go into boa constrictor mode again. So I gotta clean up that. I gotta do something about that rear end. Maybe I'll put a lube locker gasket on there. Anybody used a lube locker? Usually I just put RTV on there, on that differential cover, and go on my merry way. Come on, hose. What are you doing? Yeah. I mean, the thing is like trying to eat me alive. Trying to wrap around my neck and my face and knock my readers off. Okay, hose. All right. Now, that's much better. Now, can I see what I need to do now? That's another question. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Got my old clippy. Where was that clip at? I feel like it was right here. That is a 5/16. Okay. Oh yeah. Now those hoses, they're gonna get hooked up back up in there. We can work that one this way a little bit more. That'll tuck up in there and not get doinked by the ARB. Looks pretty good. Let's go. Since I have plenty of hose, I'm gonna see if I can shove as much as I can through there. Oh, yeah. Much better. Yep, that's what I want right there. Even better. Perfect. That's where we're at. Tighten that one down, it'll hold everything in place. Awesome. 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 And no, that won't rub on anything. Okay. Line goes under here just like the old one did. Okay. I'm gonna slide. Crud, I put all my tools up. They're over there. I'm gonna slide back under here and tighten that dude up, and then I'll have all this part kind of tightened up and done. If I can get out of here. Just remembered. Got signed up for Rocky Mountain Race Week yesterday. Since I'd signed up, Rocky Mountain Race Week does a cool deal where if you did it the previous year, signed up, showed up, did all that, you didn't have to finish, which we didn't. But anyways, you have veteran status, and by that they mean since you did it the previous year, you get to sign up a day early and avoid the onslaught of people trying to sign up. You know, like drag week was always just crazy trying to get signed up because it was just an open deal every year for all however many spots, 350 or however many spots they have. So, but Rocky Mountain Race Week was veteran status. So I got signed up yesterday. So this car is really my plan B car. Green car, I want green car to be plan A. So you're like, well, James, okay. Why are you working on? Well, that is a terrible camera shot. Why are you working on the red one? Well, got to have a plan B, and I've got stuff to work on it. I'm still waiting on a few things. Mainly that power steering hose on the green car, because I screwed up that power steering hose. I need the power steering hooked up. So when I crank the motor over, the pump doesn't just shoot power steering fluid everywhere. So it's kind of in a holding pattern. Now, let's see if we can get down here and finish figuring out where this hose goes. Okay, here we are. Continuing on. Maybe. Yep, I left the screws laying down here. Great. One. Okay. Thing is, I don't remember. Okay, that one was right there. That's pretty easy to figure out. Did I? Yep, I got the right one. Get my fingers down where I can. Get that guy stuck in there. Screw that right back into the same hole. Then move on. I can remember where it goes next. This looks like I had one right there, did I? Can't find my. I don't remember. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I did. Maybe that was the one that was stuck to my. Yep, there was one right there. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was stuck to my lot a while ago. And I got to find a screw for it because I don't see the screw anywhere. Oops, let me turn that off. That's these drop lights. Drop lights with a magnet on them, pretty cool. But There's always a but. If you're not paying attention, the darn things will grab your grab stuff that you need, screws, whatnot, sockets. I'd have had sockets disappear because they were stuck to the magnet on the drop light. Okay, found it. Race week this year, it's going to be basically the same tracks as last year. And this year is the 10th anniversary. They're calling it Mega Week because they're going to run Rocky Mountain Race Week and Race Week all at the same time. Matt always does two events a year, Rocky Mountain Race Week and Race Week. One of them's in June, one's in September, usually. And this year he's going to run them all at the same time for the 10th anniversary, which is going to be bananas. But if there's anybody in the drag and drive world that can pull that off, it's Matt Frost. That dude is amazing. They're genuinely happy to see you there, and they genuinely want you to have a good time. They come around, talk to you in the pits, ask you how your week's going. If you have trouble, they're more than happy to help out by, they always have a little car, they have a Mini Cooper that they keep around, and if you need to make a parts run, or if you're broke down and you need to go fetch your car, your truck and trailer, you can use the Mini and go get your trailer, load the Mini on your trailer, bring it back to your car, and then take the Mini back to whatever, back to Matt. I mean, it's a great event. I love it. Had a lot of good times with my boys on it. And fortunately, last year we had our first DNF. This car, you don't know that story. We first drive day, we left the track at Tulsa. I don't like how I did that. And started on the route. It was hot. And what the heck? Hold on. Stopped at the gas station to get some fuel. Shut the car off. Filled up gas. Jumped in. And hit the starter. And the motor would just barely turn over. I was like, what is going on? I mean, I hadn't had that problem at all during the week. I mean, during any time. It's always been kind of a little bit of a slow starter with the battery in the back. But I've never had it where it just, sounded like the battery was dead like that. So, some other race weekers stopped. We jacked it up. One of them took me over to get a starter, bought a starter. So I thought, well, it must be the starter. Put a starter in it. Nope, wasn't a starter. Did the exact same thing. I had the presence of mind when I was at the parts store to just go ahead and grab a battery. So I actually had another battery. We tried jump boxes, batteries, and all sorts of whatnot. And it would just crank over, I mean, and the battery cables were just on fire hot because they were trying to move so much juice. So it's like, well, now what? Well, we made the hard decision that was not a battle we wanted to try to deal with all week. And called Called a friend that we had just made that week named Chase. It was his first ever race week. Anyways, he came by, gave me a ride back to the track, and got the truck, went back, loaded up, and headed home. So that was kind of our first failure at race week. Okay, that hose is run up to the front pretty much how I want it. I'm going to mark it and cut off the extra. For once in my life, I've actually bought more hose than I needed. That never happens. Okay, so just past the shock tower. So really, let's mark it right there. And we'll be able to pull it back out and chop it off. Okay, got our little mark right there. And we'll grab something to cut it with. Or cut it, and I'll go get my heat gun. And we'll just have to kind of manhandle this on here without the vise. And then we'll be pretty much, actually, I'm considering, since I moved the filter, okay, I was worried about the hose, so I put an extra fuel filter up here. I may just take that dude off and just run the hose out. And that way I'll have one filter in the back like I always have, new hose, everything will be cool. That's what's going to happen. Yep. Okay. Pull my light out there so it's not glaring at y'all. Grab some of these tools. No sense in doing it in the dark. Oh. Okay, really what we want to do is take it loose from the reg, which is that size, probably both the same size. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I was worried about the hose breaking up, so I went ahead and I stuck another filter up here, another one of those Russell filters. They're pretty good deals. I kind of like those. But since the filter is so easy to get to, and it will be so easy to get to in the back, not going to do it. We'll have new hose. So that means my mark needs to be another Sharpie length past what I did there. How's that for Americans using any unit of measure except for the metric system? One Sharpie length. And that is, thought I could cut it with those scissors that have the little notch for cutting hosey type things, but it's a little more intense. Not intenser than the $10 box knife. I think that's $10. We had to buy a box knife. I actually bought that on race week with Judd. We needed a box knife and bought that at a store, and it was like $10. We're always joking about the $10 box knife. All right, hose end assembly number 4. This is the last one. I mean, I'm just tripping over stuff like crazy today. I'll do it the fitting. I didn't bring it. Yeah, I did. Where is it? Oh. That might get edited out just because the fitting's right there on my tire. Okay, let's heat this dude up just like we did the others. I think that's probably good. Let's find out. We're a little bit of, come on. WD-40 is almost WD-0. Oh, come here. push it against my tire, maybe. This is always hard. Don't know that I got it hot enough. Yep, I think I did. Yeah. Not. Whew. Got it. Not quite as easy without the vise and that stable thing to push against. All right. I can just stick my head in here and maybe poke it through the hole. Maybe not. I don't know. Look at there. Squirted it right through. Right there where we want it. It's the old alternator connector. Or not alternator, but what's that thing called? Regulator. Voltage regulator. Let me see. And there we go. This end of the fuel system is done. Just got to do the messy part in the back by connecting everything up. All right. That's going to do it for 30 Minute Mechanic today. We got our fuel line put in, got all those hose ends put on, got things kind of switched around, put the filter in the back where we can actually get to it now instead of having to jack the car up or crawl under there and dump unleaded in your face. That was always a nightmare. So that's all taken care of. Next steps on this car is start doing some wiring, getting the getting everything rewired that we unwired the other day. So fuel pump relay, water pump relay, whatever, electric fan relay, and the Dixie horn, because the Dixie horn is a necessity. So anyways, check the description. Cruise over to my friends' channels. Check out what those guys are up to. Some cool guys with some neat content. But for me, like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends. We'll see you next time. Bye.